You're watching the Super Review.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into the Super Review. I'm Dr. Anna Stubblefield, Superintendent of Schools, and I'm thrilled to share some exciting news with all of you. Our graduation rate has continued to trend upward. The current rate is 77%, the highest has been in over 10 years, and we are continuing to work hard towards our goal of meeting or exceeding the state average of 90%. Today, we're joined by Dr. Danira Fernandez-Flores, the Executive Director of Diploma Plus College and Careers and Instructional Programs. Hello, Dr. Fernandez-Flores.
Hello, Dr. Stubblefield. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Enjoying our summer.
Okay. So we just had all of our graduations and we're excited about what our students are going to do next. But we know that preliminary, our graduation rate next year will be higher than this year. Talk to me about what you, the team, and the principals have been doing so that our graduation rate has been trending upward since we've been here in the district.
Absolutely. So I think one of the changes is our mindset around what graduation is. Graduation is not the end of the career of our students. We are visualizing graduation as a milestone that we're working towards that helps prepare students for after graduation. And one of those innovative things that we are doing includes tracking our students 2 years out, because we firmly believe that we are responsible for their success at a minimum 2 years out. So we do engage with our students through surveys for opening the ability for them to let us know where they are, if they are following their plan, and what are some of the barriers. Other things we ask of them is, how did we prepare you? What were the best courses, activities that you engaged in that prepare you for where you are? That input serves to inform us as we kind of reevaluate our program. So that is a small component that helps design that trajectory towards graduation and beyond as that milestone. Some of the elements that we are using towards that trajectory include that North Star that we firmly have, and ensuring that all of our team members in our department know that all of our work is critical to that North Star and that we are not living in silos. Okay. Our instructional programs, such as like mathematics and reading, know that they are the foundation for our students to use in service of their exploration of those real-world learning activities. We call them Diploma Plus in our district, that help engage them in understanding how to interact in that post-secondary world. So those are some of the items that guide the work.
Yeah, and it sounds like a lot and it sounds complex, but yet you all make it look so seamless. And one of the things that I heard throughout was that relationship with the students, regardless of if it's the principal, the teacher, or whomever is following up when they leave. So do you attribute that relationship building and really having a plan for the students as one component that has led to the result of our graduation rate increasing and continually increasing? Like, how soon are you talking to kids about graduation?
Relationships are foundational. That is we as humans and our littles, our need for us to develop a sense of belonging to the environments that they are in. And a component of ensuring they understand their belonging is to bring the world of work close to them, to let them know that they could be part of that profession. And so we bring experiences into the Early Childhood Center connected to the units of academic work that they might be engaged in. For them, that might be a unit on animals. And so we would bring a speaker that talks about what it looks like in the profession that has to do with animals. And we follow that trajectory into the elementary space, where we have written into our guaranteed and viable curriculum the component of the real world learning alongside the core of math, science, English, and social studies. And our teachers are able to select in what space and in what unit they would invite an element of real world learning associated to their units of study.
Okay, that is awesome. And I think it's great for people to know that all of our students from our early childhood, our 3-year-olds, to our actually, some students we have here to stay with us to 21 are getting those real world learning, Diploma Plus type of experiences. And I personally believe like the more engaging the learning is, the more likely students will attend school and graduate. Do you want to just highlight any of those exciting, engaging things that we have built into our curriculum that may come up for you that can be attributing to the increase in graduation rate for us?
So we seek for our high schoolers all the opportunities that are available. Sometimes those opportunities are limited. For instance, KCKC Tech only has a certain number of seats for automotive, but we have more students that are interested in automotive, and if they don't have access to that, they may decide that they don't want to continue in our buildings. Well, we built partnerships with different organizations like Baxter Auto, and they've taken our students, they go in as interns, they are paid for the time with them, and they are taught all the things that they need to learn about auto mechanics, as well as the ability to earn certifications. And at the end of their internship, they may be offered jobs working in the field. So we believe that when we go a step beyond what is available and we create the opportunities in the fields that our students are expressing interest, we're responding to their needs. We tell them you still belong with us and we will still support you. And then we're also setting them on that trajectory for that milestone and beyond.
Yeah, that's exciting and fascinating to hear. But what I don't want people to lose as we come to a close is that foundationally, all of these experiences are built on our guaranteed viable curriculum, which, emphasize numeracy and literacy. Can you just give us just a brief insight to how all of that ties together that is leading to the great, the outcomes that we're seeing that are trending upward for our students?
An area that I can speak to are client connected projects. We are connecting businesses to the classroom, and they bring problems of the business for our students to solve. And our students are only able to engage in the solutions if they have that academic preparation for them to be able to use their language skills, their math skills to solve the problem. So this is where they're integrating the academic work into that world of work. And so that wouldn't work if our students didn't bring with them that academic preparation.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Fernandez-Flores and the entire Diploma Plus team for all the hard work and dedication you do to achieve the growth that we have seen. We have more work to do, and we're looking forward to sharing the positive outcomes in 2025. Here's more about Diploma Plus and how high school students at Slagle High School are preparing for future careers through the biomedical pathway.
The biomedical pathway are for students that are interested in healthcare careers, biomedical technology careers, all the way from nurses, doctors to microbiologists and nuclear medicine physicists.
Take that tape flag, put it over the injury.
Our introductory course is our Principles of Biomedical Science course. From that course, you then transition to Human Body Systems or Anatomy and Physiology course, followed by Medical Interventions, and then Biomedical Innovations, which ends up being our capstone course, where students then kind of showcase all the skills that they've learned. We have projects all the way from research to public service announcements to new interventions or enhanced interventions.
Notice that there's 8 types of fractures.
In human body systems, it is just that we look at the various human body systems.
We basically just learn about the human structure, especially with the bones, how the body functions and how everything ties in together basically. She basically had us look at a bunch of bones, and she wants us to use the medical terms that she taught us instead of using like common words.
They were identifying not only those bones that they see, but then the types of fractures or injury that's occurring with that bone as well.
I chose to take this class because I knew that I wanted to go into the medical field. It's interesting to learn about like our bodies and how they function.
It makes me feel proud, especially when not only they go into the field, but they can maintain. We have a pretty good track record. We're seeing our students excel, and that makes me very proud.
The Student Support Program was awarded the 2024 Gold Honor for Social Emotional Growth in the Kansas Can Star Recognition Program. KCKPS is the first district in Kansas to ever receive the gold recognition in this category. Tracie Chauvin, Director of Student Support Programs, is here to talk to us about this awesome accomplishment and the social emotional wellness initiatives we have in place to support our students and families. Welcome, Tracie.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited for you to share with our community all of the things that we've done and the innovative ways we have wrapped around the whole student. So just share with us the journey of getting to gold, because I know we were recognized at other levels prior to this as well.
I think the word you use, journey, is the perfect word. We have really started just by putting really small bits in place of asking our students, asking our community, what is it you want? And it started with teaching and learning skills for our students and for our staff. So it was a combined approach of focusing on the skills that our students needed to learn around emotion recognition and then emotion management. So not just how do I handle emotions, but we also heard that our students didn't fully know how to recognize their emotions. So you have to start with that piece first. And so then we also heard from our adults is that they also needed tools themselves of how can I also be well. And so we also focused on our adults in our community, not just our staff, but also our parents in our community. And so we just took this holistic approach of how can we really empower our students to learn the skills they need, our staff with the tools they needed to help our students, and then also our parents and caregivers as well. And so it's just been a journey over the past 5 years of truly empowering the community as a whole. And it's led us to that gold.
Yeah. So we did get the gold this year, but I remember our first time being recognized with the bronze and then the silver.
No, our copper. We jumped straight from that copper to that gold. So the bronze, the copper, the gold.
So we went bronze, copper, gold.
Yes.
Can you just tell what was the difference between, what did we do to go from bronze to gold? Because we missed the whole silver category, which in this case I'm okay with. I
think the biggest piece was input.
Okay.
It was the listening. That was the feedback that we got, was how we incorporate the voice of our students and the voice of our community, and then how we were responding to it. And so an example of that would be when we were having so much really I don't know how others to say it, but when we were having our students not being well, and then we were responding to it by writing grants to braid funding to be able to provide the resources such as the Help Me app, so that students had, and our families and our caregivers had 24 access to care, 24/7 access to care, and then putting that and sharing that and uplifting that in our application and saying, here's the concerns we were hearing, here's how we were responding to the concerns. You were out there listening, doing the listening and learning tours, and hearing and seeing that our school board was out there listening. And the state recognized that you have a superintendent's council full of students telling you, hearing the voice, having our Enough is Enough student advisory councils telling us, hosting a youth leadership retreat every year. They're telling us what they want and we're responding to it. That's what set us apart, that took us from that bronze, that copper, straight to the gold. Because not every district has such a robust feedback in place and responds to it. And I think that that's the biggest piece that we have to keep in place, is it's not just that we're hearing it, but we're doing something with it.
Yeah, that's very powerful. And as I think about and reflect on my time in the district, some of the most innovative projects or things, and sometimes it's simple, but sometimes it's a little more complex, have come from listening to our students and their caregivers and their parents about, like, when we're asking, how is this experience going for you? And you hear the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I think the bad and the ugly helps us to get better.
Yes.
And so it's exciting to hear that while the board is out and I'm out, and then, the different departments who have the student councils, like Enough is Enough, that we are really trying with intentionality to center the student experience around what they are wanting. So a question I guess I have for you, like, we have the gold, how do we maintain the gold? Because that's no pressure, but how do we maintain
We ask ourselves that all the time. How do we keep, when you set a standard of excellence, how do you maintain that standard of excellence? And I think it's just continuing to listen. Our students have said, we want to continue to be the voice. We want to continue to be the change. So an example of that is they don't want us to do it for them. They want to be doing it themselves. So why are we planning the block parties when they want to plan the block parties?
Absolutely.
So we're letting them, like, we should be letting them do it. We should be having them do these things because they are the change. We should just be supporting them and doing it. And so how do we continue to uplift them? Because we can't do it all for them. And so how do we continue to do that? I think that that is the actual answer to how we maintain the gold, is how do we create them at the center of everything? And how do we shift it from us having the onus of control to the students truly being the onus of control and the drivers of all the change? And I think that's how we'll maintain that gold.
Okay. Now, some people may feel like, oh, listening to students, that's a little scary, or
it is a little
them
scary.
Be in control, that can be a little scary, but we've found great success in that and learned from that. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to share or highlight, or to brings you joy around the work that you do in this area?
I think the biggest piece to highlight is something that was mentioned earlier. It is all about the relationships, and it is all just built on that foundation of relational trust. And the students truly do trust us, because every single thing we do is a microdose of connection, and that truly changes lives. Every tiny greeting at the door, every tiny smile and eye contact changes a life and changes the trajectory, and it does keep us on reaching that North Star goal of all of our students graduating Diploma Plus. And I think if we keep that at the forefront of everything we do, then we all are better together, like better every day and better together. And I think that when we stay centered in that, we stay centered in our community and centered in our students.
Yeah, well, that's exciting to hear, and to hear that we'll continue to do that, so that we'll, not just for the gold recognition, because that's what's best for our students. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Tracie, once again, congratulations to you and your team, the Welcome Center, the Enough is Enough group, and the collaborative effort by so many staff throughout the district for displaying our commitment to holistic student development and achievement. Thank you for joining me today. Now here's Josiah Evans with District Highlights.
Hello, I'm Josiah Evans from Wyandotte High School, and here are your District Highlights. For the second consecutive year, the varsity debate team at Sumner High School finished in the top 5 of the KCKPS Class 5A debate tournament. The Sabres took second place at the tournament held at Garden City High School in Garden City, Kansas. The tournament featured over 300 students competing in the simultaneous tournaments for 2 and 4 speaker championships. Congratulations to them. Students in the Architecture, Construction, and Engineering Academy at Wyandotte High School recently found themselves in the spotlight at the state capitol in Topeka, Kansas. 5 students and their carpentry teacher, Allison Smith, traveled to the capital city to participate in the Celebrating Public School Week activities. The group of students sat in a joint House and Senate Education Committee meeting and met with Governor Laura Kelly and Senator Pat Petty. Representative Dr. Valdinia Wynn recognized them in the House Gallery because of their great work in the ACE program. This group of students helped build 2 playhouses for students in Lindbergh Elementary School, and they also helped build houses in the Kansas City, Kansas community. A group of 8th grade students at Central Middle School could soon become future professional photographers. The group of students took part in Photography Summit at the Nelson Acker Museum. Part of their day was spent on a guided tour of the photography galleries at the museum. The museum has over 15,000 photos in its collection. During the summit, students also learned some tips and tricks on photography from 2 professional photographers at the Hallmark Cards in Kansas City, Kansas. And that's a look at a few of the highlights of what's happening in Kansas City, Kansas public schools.
Thank you, Josiah. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Super Review. You can find other programming on KCKPS TV Channel 18 on Spectrum, live streamed on the district's website at kckschools.org or the district's YouTube channel. Thank you to all of our guests who joined me today, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.